if you remember the structure of rapid change, there's four things that we want to be doing. One is education based on results, or results based education. And so we've got this incredible library now that you guys have access to. We've got two libraries, online platforms. One is Thinkific. Thinkific has the bulk of the information on there. So like all of the platinum courses and anything that has an accelerator after it is an online course. So, health accelerator, relationship accelerator, wealth accelerator, life accelerators on there, the recharge accelerators on there, and then obviously all of the platinum courses. So like NLP accelerator, coach accelerator, speaker accelerator. We've got some coaching programs in there on how to build your business, six-figure accelerator, 10K accelerator. That's all on Thinkific that you guys have access to. Okay. And then if we look at the Troublemakers, which is on a different platform, which is School, and you have all of kind of the latest business programs on there. And so we've got like the 3K accelerator, and then we've got Troublemakers business breakout modules on there. So we're kind of transitioning everything over from a business point of view onto School, and it's too much of a big job to transition everything from Thinkific. So we'll keep the two platforms going at the moment. And so if you look at that first principle of education based on results, it's choosing one of those. And if it's more of a personal transformation, it's looking at, health, wealth, or relationships, and mindset is kind of connected to all of those trainings. So that's why if you look at the labels on it, it's a mindset in wealth, it's a mindset in health, it's a mindset in relationships. If you think of those areas, health, wealth, and relationships, they're the main one. And what connects them in the middle is mindset. And our philosophy is that if you get all of those areas handled, like when you handle the basic stresses around health, wealth, and relationships, and the mindset components with them, what happens is a transcendence. That's where we transition into more purpose, mission, more of the spiritual side. And the reason for that is that when you handle those basic stresses, we create space. Think about that. There's no stress around money, no stress around health, there's no stress around relationships. We've turned the wound into the opposite polarity. So for instance, if there is sadness around relationships, we then help you transition from sadness to happiness. Well, then you can look at the world in a different way. Because when you're in a state of happiness, what occurs is you make different decisions. You see different opportunities in comparison to being stuck in sadness or anger or hurt or any of those things. And so the suggestion is always, look at the area that you're avoiding. The area that you're avoiding has like the biggest emotional leakage. And in the Troublemakers, we'll be talking about that. We'll be using, the metaphor of the boat sinking and just keeping your head above water. And so all of that stuff is there. Like even the Wealth Accelerator. And I'm even thinking I might even run that as a mastermind group for you guys in person again. Because the last time we ran it, the guys in 6 weeks did almost 600K. I think it was 647,000 is what they created within 6 weeks of doing that program as a team. So it's like a team-based program, coming up with ideas, all of those things. But the idea behind Wealth Accelerator is that we want to start with the inside. We want to look at all of those limiting patterns when it comes to money. Like if you want to kind of push money up the values levels, and remember, your top values, you put more energy in, right? Your lower level values, you create more chaos around or avoidance. And so if you're able to uncover every single limiting belief around money and then shift it to the opposite polarity, then you're going to take more action. You're going to start to nurture money. You're going to start to, instead of avoiding it, leaving it to the last minute, you're going to start to use it. You're going to help it grow. And the metaphor that we use in that program, in the Wealth Accelerator, is the money tree. Like my dad always said to me, money doesn't grow on trees. So I built an education system based on a tree to be able to create wealth. And what you want to be able to do is you want to create your first tree, and then you want to create a forest. And after a couple of trees, they just start growing themselves. And if you think about it, the soil is a reflection of your unconscious mind. If you've got a fertile soil, then things are going to grow. If you don't have a fertile soil, which is a whole lot of limiting beliefs, then it's not going to grow. If you look at the trunk of the tree, that's savings. We want to get a bulk of savings that we never, ever touch, ever. It stays there. From a psychological point of view, if you've got 2 months worth of expenses sitting there that you never touch, you make decisions differently. The first layer of the tree is like a no-risk investment, but we're only dealing with 2 months. So you learn more about investing after you've done the investment. Does everyone get that? Not before. And the challenge is people wait and avoid and all of those things. So if you look at the tree, first layer is almost no risk. Second layer is medium risk. Third layer is high risk, but we're only dealing with about 2 months. And so you're able to execute and get the learnings. See, a lot of people, what they do is they jump into a game they haven't earned the right to be in. And so what happens is if you don't have the trunk in place, if you don't have a fertile soil, if you don't have the trunk in place, then what's going to happen? It's going to fall over. And so we always suggest, like, you want to have a personal tree. If you've got a business, you want to build a tree for the business as well. And what that is going to do is it's going to build certainty. It's going to take away the feast and famine. And you're going to be able to make decisions in a different way strategically because you've gone through the perturbation and the learning and the growth of learning about an investment strategy and then executing that investment strategy. But if you look at the Wealth Accelerator, we start off with mindset. Then we start to look at budgeting. Then we start to put in a structure that takes you out of the equation because the thought process is you can't be trusted. So we want to use technology, we want to use systems to be able to put a thing in place so that all you've got to do is just create money and then the system just takes care of it, reallocates it where it needs to go. And then if you try and touch it, then we look at that. Why are you touching it? And then do the emotional work on that. You know, what is the trigger? Is it retail therapy? What's happening in other areas of life? What's going on? You know, those patterns where I've got to have it. And that's where ideally, you know, I can jump in if you're coachable and go, you know what? I'm about to do this. Let's look at it. And then look at the emotional side, shift that, then all of a sudden things start to transform. So that's what Wealth Accelerator does. It's really, really powerful. It's education based on results. It also gets you thinking big picture. There's a really great book that we talk about in the Wealth Accelerator called The 1 Minute Millionaire. And we use the 1 Minute Millionaire philosophy. Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen wrote that book. And it's kind of like one page is strategy, the other page is like this story about this mother who's about to lose her kids. She has to come up with $1 million, and this mastermind group is formed. And that's what Wealth Accelerator is about, is this bringing together like a mastermind, having this big kind of vision of creation, but also putting all of the foundations in place of mindset, structure, like building a tree, right? And I find that when people go through like one tree, their belief systems completely transform when it comes to money, completely transform. People that go, oh, well, I'm not good with numbers, or I hate money, or all of that type of stuff are like, hang on, I'm actually really good at this. And then move to a position where they're like, I actually really enjoy this. I'm loving this, especially with the swish patterns and all of those things that are in the program. So Mindset and Wealth Accelerator is there for you guys. It's a powerful, powerful program. So that's it. Health Accelerator. The Health Accelerator is great because what we're conditioning with the Health Accelerator is passion. There's two things that you want passion around. One is movement and one is eating. So moving in ways that ignite energy and eating foods that ignite energy. So again, we look at the emotional side, we look at self-image, and again, we're conditioning those types of patterns. And we start off really, really small. And as you go into the program, we're just conditioning it every single session. So again, Mindset and Health Accelerator, really, really powerful. Incredible results have come from that. Like if you combine Ultimate Life Recharge and then jump into, the Health Accelerator after it, it's a really good combination, and then put one-on-one mentoring into that, really, really good. The relationship one, brilliant. Whether you want to attract someone, and it's not just like, personal romantic relationships, like the techniques that are in a relationship accelerator will literally have you attract more people, different people into your life. It's an accelerator. If you're in a relationship, it will transform your current relationship, and you just do the sessions together. And again, coupled with one-on-one coaching, especially in a group, really like, couples coaching. Like often when I'm working with couples, I do like an individual session, and then we do, a group session, an individual session, group session, that type of thing. But Relationship Accelerator, again, really, really powerful. I'm sorry, I'm talking really, really quick because we've got 4 minutes. So just to kind of open your eyes to that, there is so much great education on there. And I think sometimes because I give you guys so much, you may not value it. It's just there. But if like you spent $5,000 for just one of these accelerators, you'd probably commit to it a little bit more. But they're really, really powerful. And so when it comes to, the structure of rapid change, we want to have all of those 4 things in place. So education based on results. And my suggestion is just to choose a night. It might be, okay, Tuesday night, and I think Tuesday is probably a pretty good one because if you've, had a big weekend or whatever it is, Monday to, work yourself out, Tuesday to get yourself back into action or whatever it is, or if you're tired. So Tuesday night is like Netflix with Matt, just for an hour. And then Thursdays, we have this, our accountability accelerator, to ask any questions, to help you get on track, to refocus. And then a fortnightly kind of catch up with your one-on-one, or every 3 weeks. We have our troublemakers every 16 weeks. We're at our restaurant, and we always invite you guys if you want to come to dinner every 16 weeks. It's there. We do our business breakout program, but then we transition to a dinner. And it's a really great way to connect in person. We always, suggest to you, if you want to come, you can. So that's kind of the structure, which is education based on results, one-to-one mentoring, being part of a mastermind group like this, and then building a high performance network. So we kind of put all of these things in there for you. And the key is to do all of them at once, not just one, not just education based on results, do all of them at once. And if you do that, you'll see faster growth. Is that making sense? Yes? Does anyone need any help? Everyone's good. Had some good breakthroughs yesterday, guys. All right, guys. Bye.